Hello, this is very spontaneous and I don't know whether it will ever come to anything or end up on the internet. One thing I spoke about doing when I was talking about making content next year was doing weekly reading vlogs. I didn't actually do one in Vlogmas, but I kind of thought it might be a more engaging substitute to doing a weekly reading wrap up, because you'll get my real-time thoughts and it'll be easier for me to actually update on the books as and when, and it will probably be more interesting to watch. But today is Tuesday the 2nd of January, so I've already missed starting the vlog at the beginning of the week. But to be fair, yesterday I was up in York visiting my sibling with my mum, so we were up relatively early, went for breakfast with my sibling, and then while we were there, my godmother and her 3 kids live in York as well, so we went over and saw them for a few hours, and then we did the 3-hour drive home. We had some dinner and we played some games on the Xbox with some of our friends. So yesterday wasn't very reading heavy anyway. By the time I got to bed, what I'd planned to do was read this book. I don't know if you can see it very well. It's called Galatea. I don't know how to pronounce it, by Madeline Miller. It's beautiful, beautiful cover, but it's tiny. It's this little tiny thing. It's only like 60 pages long. But Madeline Miller is the author of Circe and Song of Achilles. So it's an ancient Greek, just little tiny baby story. And I thought, you know what, let's read this on the first day of the year, and that will kick off my reading goal. That'll mean that I'm not on 0 books for the year. It would just be a nice little quick win. But then I got to bed and I got about 3 pages in and I was already struggling to stay awake. So I shelved that, and I'm hoping I'm going to read that today. But what I've done today so far, I'm already in the off-brand hoodie, which shows you I'm not planning to leave the house today. But I've filmed 2 YouTube videos, I've filmed 2 TikTok videos. I still need to edit those, but next thing on my list is that I want to set up my 2024 bullet journal, because it is the 2nd of January and I currently don't have a journal. So yeah, let's try a weekly reading vlog. I suppose I should say what I'm currently reading. Currently I am only reading Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn, because I finished Second Chances in Newport Stephen on New Year's Eve, and other than Galatea, I probably am pronouncing that wrong. Please tell me in the comments if you know how to pronounce it. And I still need to pick my first book of the month, and I've just filmed my January TBR video and there are 9 books on that list. And reading 9 books in a month is not something I can consistently do, so I really need to get a head start on that, and this one isn't included in that 9, so maybe I'll do that in this vlog, choose what book I'm reading next, who knows. Hello, good afternoon. It is now Wednesday. I'm still in the post-Christmas what the fuck is today zone. I have to think really hard about what day of the week it is, but today is Wednesday. After I filmed that clip yesterday, I started working on my bullet journal, and I only made it through like 8 pages of what I needed to design to get this kind of journal up and running. But I did read Galatea when I went to bed. I've decided I'm pronouncing it Galatea. I don't know if it's the right way to pronounce it, but I read Galatea by Madeline Miller, which was, you know, I showed it in the clip. It's this teeny tiny little book. I liked it. I rated it 3 stars. I think when you're writing a story that short, it's hard to write anything that can be super engaging. So I liked Galatea as a character. I kind of liked her attitude, and if you can call it a plot, I liked that. But it was, I mean, it can't have been more than 2,000 or 3,000 words, surely. So there was only so much you could really connect with. So it was fine. It was a very, nice time. I'm back at the table with my journaling supplies, and I thought I might show you what I made yesterday. So I started by making these. They're essentially like vinyl stickers that I made with my Cricut that are going to be like titles on each page. So this one's got this cute little Winnie the Pooh vinyl, which is going to be like a background to this green. I've got a few here. I'll show you them in the journal. So front of the journal, I use some of these. I think they're glow in the dark stickers, but they're like 3D-ish, so I don't want to use them inside the journal, otherwise it'll make it too fat. But I've got this gold glitter vinyl with a dark green drop shadow, which I really like how it looks. So then we skip through to the little title page, where this is more cricket vinyl, so I've got that Winnie the Pooh stuff in the background. You can't really see the design very well with the dark green. And I just added some background craft paper and some stickers. And then over here I've got a bunch of sticker packs. I'm not going to pretend I don't love Bluey. Bluey is great, so I put some Bluey stickers. These are just really random, so I put them there. Then I've got my goals page with more of these cricket titles and all of my goals for the year. I've already made a whole video on these. I mean, this is probably much quicker. The video I made is 20 minutes long. Here's all of it summarised in 2 pages, but I'm really pleased with how this looks. And then I made my calendar pages, so I put 4 months to a page just because I find that works best for me. And I've got a bunch of stickers that are like for these special days, but all the stickers are this sticker pack is American, so it's got things like Martin Luther King Jr. Day, President's Day, Memorial Day that just aren't relevant to me as a British person. So I've got a bunch of them that I didn't use, but here's my first calendar page, then May through August, and September through December. And then I always like to include a 2025, well, not 2025 specifically, I always like to include a calendar for the following year, because things crop up. I mean, I've got the equivalent of this in my current journal, which is over here, and it's useful for jotting down when school holidays are going to be, or trips, or book releases. In my case, it's just useful to have a space to jot that down. It probably won't be relevant until nearer the end of the year, but always useful to have this, and I'm really pleased with how it looks. That's as far as I got yesterday. I need to get started on this today, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch more YouTube and make more bullet journal spreads. I was going to watch a YouTube video while I do my makeup, but instead I remembered I was filming a reading vlog, so I thought I'd show you how tired I look today. Jesus, I didn't know it was that bad. So apparently the format of my reading vlog so far is just that I check in once a day with what I read the day before, because I do most of my reading in bed, so I don't think, one, I generally fall asleep while I'm reading, so I wouldn't remember to vlog anyway, and two, I don't think my husband would particularly appreciate if I randomly decided to start vlogging whilst we were in bed. Right, so I'm having this dilemma at the moment where I'm still listening to Bloodmarked by Tracy Dewan, which is the second book in the Legendborn cycle, as an audiobook, but it's not on my TBR for this month. So on the one hand, I'm like, oh, I really want to finish it because it was on my December TBR, even though we are solidly in January now, and I could be using my time to work on my January TBR, but I don't want to just stop reading it and then start reading something that is on my TBR, so I'm trying to read it faster. I have made some development in my audiobook listening, in that rather than listening on 1 times speed, I can now listen on 1.5, 1.75 speed, which is exciting. When I'm co-reading with the book actually in front of me, I can even take it up to 2 times speed, which is reassuring for how quickly I'll be able to get through some of these audiobooks. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to power through the end of Bloodmarked and then start a new audiobook and a new physical book at the same time. And today I am going to a town that's about an hour away to meet up with some friends to celebrate one of their birthdays, so that's nearly 2 hours of driving time that I will get to listen to my audiobook, which is quite funny because all the friends that I have that live in that town are always like, oh, you always drive so far to come see us, and I'm like, well, you say that like I wouldn't enjoy it, but it's all audiobook time, so it works out for me. I think off the top of my head I've got about 6 hours of Bloodmarked left with the current speed I'm listening to it. I'll be able to get through a solid chunk of that today, and then maybe even finish it by the end of the weekend. That would be nice. Then after that, I really don't know what I'm going to read. I need to actually make a dent in my January TBR, which I keep over there, which is why I'm looking over there. And I don't know whether to start with one of the chunky hardbacks or to get one of the smaller paperbacks out the way. I'm not sure. I might put them in one of those spinning wheel things online that people use and let that pick, because I'm not very good at making decisions, so sometimes just leaving it to fate is easier for me. Actually, that sounds like a good idea. So yeah, I listened to a couple of chapters of Bloodmarked last night, But the thing with co-reading Bloodmarked is that the font in the book is so small, and even though I'm co-reading it, which makes it a lot easier than if I was just reading it with my eyes, that font is like painfully small. Yeah, in terms of reading updates, that's kind of all I've got. And even with my reading goal, I mean, I've set my reading goal at 52 books this year because I set it at 42 books last year and then read 80 books, but I didn't want to push my reading goal up to like the 80 odd number because I don't know if I'm going to be able to maintain that this year. So I thought I'd up it a little bit, but not a lot. And 52 books is 1 book a week. And I read Galatea at the beginning of the week, so I've already read my 1 book for the week. I'll show you in a minute where I have you balanced, but it is precarious. Actually, no, I'll take a picture and put it in, that'll be easier. Yeah, this is questionable. Okay, I'm in another hotel because I don't know if I've ever explained this properly before, but my husband Lucas works in TV. It's live broadcast and it's predominantly in sport, so if you ever watch a football game, a rugby game, he's done, what else has he done? He's done some golf this year. Then there's a chance that Lucas's company broadcasted it. So we are in Hull. I wasn't meant to come with him on this job. It's only a 1-night thing. But I was feeling needy and I had nothing else to do. So I came with, and now I'm going to do some skincare and some makeup and just get chatting. Is there a mirror at this end of the room? No, I'm using my laptop and the webcam, which is about as good an idea as you'd expect. So it's been a couple of days. I was meant to vlog yesterday but didn't. And I think what I said I was going to do in the last clip is that I said I was going to use like a spinny, some sort of picker thing to choose my next physical read. Reading update, I suppose. I am now at 76% of the way through Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn, and it's getting really good. I'm really enjoying it. It's very engaging. I've got, I don't know how long left in time, but I reckon I'll either finish it today or tomorrow, because I've been listening to audiobooks for about 1.5 years now, and for the longest time I only listened to them on 1 times speed, and now I'm actually feeling like I can comprehend listening to them a bit faster. I don't know if I have any distinctive thoughts that are different to anything I've already said. I might just wait and do a full review when I finish it and pull my thoughts together. I found one of those spinny picker things online. It looked dodgy as fuck, but I put in all of the physical potential reads, or the potential physical reads that I have on my monthly TBR, and it pulled out The Principle of Moments by Esme Jikiemi Pearson, which is my Illumicrate book from December. So that's my next pick. I might see if I can find the audiobook either on my library, or I do have an Audible credit, so I might pick that up as well, because this book looks intimidating. I decided my next audiobook is going to be The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, because out of the 2 audiobooks I have to read this month, I was thinking about which one I would be more annoyed with myself for not finishing, and I really want to get started on the Kingkiller Chronicles, so I'm going to start with The Name of the Wind, and I'm hoping it's really engaging and I like binge read it, so then I can get through Culty as well, but we'll see. It is only the 6th of January, so I'm kind of like trying to beat myself into rushing through these books, but actually I've got plenty of time. So that's about it reading update wise. I'm going to put some depuffing eye patches on my face because I feel like this is the closest I get to having a bit of a pamper. So it's now Sunday night and I haven't done another reading update, so maybe I still need some more practice at this whole weekly vlogging, reading vlog thing. But I didn't finish Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn because when I got into bed last night with intent to do like a long stint of co-reading with the audiobook and the physical book, I fell asleep almost immediately. I only listened to half an hour of the book, and that was at 2 times speed, so I only spent a solid 15 minutes reading the book. So I didn't finish it, though I only have, I think, 2.5 hours left at 2 times speed. 2 hours 26 minutes left at 2 times speed, and I've come to bed earlier tonight, so I'm hoping to make a good
dent in it tonight and then hopefully finish it either Monday or Tuesday in next week's vlog, because I'm going to keep trying to do this, because if I can maintain this, this would be a nice way to get some more personable content out. But that sounds a bit too much like planning, so no one wants to hear about that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm still figuring out what this content's going to look like. Still getting the hang of it. So thanks for bearing with me whilst I get the hang of it. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!